My dearest friends, as the seasons of our lives turn, we often find ourselves contemplating the deeper rhythms of existence, particularly as we witness the gentle unfolding of life's final chapter in those we hold dear. It's a journey that, for all its universality, remains deeply personal, often veiled in quiet understandings and unspoken truths. We tend to imagine that life, when it reaches its natural conclusion, does so abruptly, like a sudden twilight. Yet experience whispers a different story. The body, with its ancient wisdom, often offers us a series of gentle signals, a quiet symphony of change, months, sometimes even a full year, before life reaches its peaceful close. These are not alarms to be feared, but rather invitations to lean in, to listen with our hearts, and to cherish the precious moments that remain. Too often we overlook these subtle signs, dismissing them as merely a part of aging, as if time alone accounts for such profound shifts. But when we learn to recognize these quiet communications from the body, a different kind of clarity emerges, an emotional understanding that guides our hands and hearts, allowing us to make the most of the sacred time still shared. This understanding isn't about being caught off guard, it's about being empowered, about navigating these tender transitions with compassion and grace. It's about creating a space where the final stage of life is imbued with comfort, dignity, and a deep abiding peace. This knowledge, like a soft lantern in the gathering dusk, brings a quiet reassurance, helping us to offer the unwavering love and support our family members need during their most vulnerable time. It's about making the remaining moments not just bearable but beautiful and deeply meaningful, etched into the heart with the indelible ink of love. The gentle retreat, when the body whispers of change. One of the earliest and most poignant signs that life is preparing for its final gentle retreat is a significant and unintentional weight loss. At first it might seem trivial, a belt that needs a new notch, clothes that hang a little more loosely, or a slight waning of appetite. We might wave it away, attributing it to less activity or a natural slowing down. But listen closely, for this gradual diminishment, especially when it happens without any conscious effort to shed pounds, is rarely a benign detail. It's a message from the body, a quiet acknowledgement that the landscape within is shifting, preparing for a deeper transformation. The body in its profound wisdom may no longer be absorbing nutrients with the same vigor it once did. Muscle mass, once a testament to strength and independence, begins to subtly diminish, and essential systems like ancient rivers start to slow their flow. While aging naturally brings some loss of muscle, an accelerated decline speaks volumes. The body might struggle to properly digest food, or perhaps it can no longer process protein to sustain its very structure. This leads to a quiet wasting, a physical letting go that impacts not just appearance, but the core of a person's ability to move through their world with ease. A weakening body becomes more susceptible to the faintest whisper of infection, its once stout immune system now a tender reed swaying in the breeze. And then there are the changes in appetite. The hunger pangs of youth and middle age often soften, or even disappear entirely. The vibrant flavors of food may dull, like colors fading in an old photograph, and the joy once found in a shared meal can recede. Eating becomes less about nourishment and more of an obligation, or simply something that no longer holds interest. This isn't a passing whim, it's a physiological shift, as the body begins to recognize that its vast energy reserves are dwindling. The signals to the brain that once urged us to eat grow quieter, less insistent. What follows is a gentle decline in energy, a quiet fading of strength that no amount of gentle coaxing or tempting dishes can truly reverse. Sometimes, hidden beneath these visible changes, are medical conditions quietly running their course: heart failure, kidney disease, or even the subtle erosion of cognitive decline or depression. These illnesses don't just weigh on the body, they gently chip away at the spirit, sometimes leading to confusion, a quiet despair, or a gentle withdrawal. The body, in its magnificent honesty, simply signals that it can no longer sustain itself with the same robust energy as before. Families, in their deep love, often try to coax more food, offering favorite dishes or protein shakes. These efforts, born of a beautiful desire to nourish and sustain, are a testament to love. But if the weight continues to decline despite these tender efforts, it's a profound sign that the issue isn't simply diet. It's the body preparing for a deeper transition, a journey that cannot be averted. At this stage, pushing for larger meals may not yield the desired results. Instead, the focus gently shifts to comfort, offering easy-to-eat foods, prioritizing hydration, and most importantly, creating moments of warmth and care that bring true peace of mind. To listen to this message, to see the quiet letting go with empathy and compassion, is to prepare for the sacred path unfolding, knowing that the time remaining is precious beyond measure. It calls us to be truly present, to make each moment count, not from a place of fear, but from the wellspring of love and deep respect for the journey. The deep weariness, when the spirit seeks rest. Another poignant sign, one that settles deep in the heart, is an overwhelming, unrelenting fatigue and weakness. This is not the weariness that a good night's sleep can banish. It's a deep, all-consuming exhaustion that persists despite ample rest. A profound weariness rooted in the very bones. It's not simply feeling a bit tired after a busy day. It's a heavy cloak that drapes itself around the spirit, making even the simplest tasks feel monumental. Rising from bed becomes an arduous climb. A walk across the room feels like a marathon. And daily rituals, cooking, dressing, or even the gentle flow of conversation now drain the person to their core. This profound fatigue is not merely a symptom of growing older. It's a profound sign that the body is working tirelessly to conserve its dwindling energy. As the graceful dance of organ function slows, the body begins to prioritize, channeling its precious resources to the most essential functions. The heart, like an old friend, no longer pumps with the same vigorous rhythm. Circulation, a vital life-giving current, gently weakens, and muscles once robust may not receive the oxygen they once did. In these final months, a growing weakness settles in, an unsteadiness that makes sustained activity increasingly difficult. The body's metabolism also undergoes a quiet shift. Once a vibrant engine of activity, it now focuses on self-preservation. Energy once used for movement is gently diverted to keeping vital organs softly humming. This is why many elderly individuals in decline may seek solace in sleep, finding themselves unable to stay awake for long periods or needing multiple naps throughout the day. It's as if the body, with its innate wisdom, has decided that the last precious reserves of energy should be conserved not for outward activity, but for the quiet inner work of survival. Perhaps the most heart-wrenching aspect of this profound fatigue is the emotional toll it takes. Seniors who once prided themselves on their independence, their ability to navigate the world with purpose, may begin to feel a quiet frustration, perhaps even a gentle embarrassment, at their inability to do the things they once did with such ease. They might withdraw from conversations, shying away from social gatherings, or letting go of beloved hobbies. It's not a loss of interest, but a physical inability to support their passions. This withdrawal, like a mist rolling in, can lead to a quiet isolation, and isolation, as we know, can subtly accelerate the decline. To witness someone you love, once vibrant and engaged, become withdrawn and deeply exhausted, is a profound and tender ache. We as family members may feel a gentle helplessness, unsure how to bridge the silence that now lingers. It's easy in our desire to help to assume they simply need to push through it. But the truth is, pushing won't help. The body is speaking a quiet language, and it's vital to listen. What matters most in these tender moments is acknowledging their limits. Allow them the gentle space and time to rest, to find solace in stillness. No amount of outward activity can change the quiet course of what is unfolding. Instead, focus on cherishing the conversations that can still happen, even if brief, creating moments of profound calm and peace. It's about making their remaining days as comfortable as possible, free from the gentle pressure of needing to do something. In the end, what truly matters is not what they can do, but how they feel. Whether they feel deeply loved, profoundly understood, and gently supported. When all else fades, the love we offer, the gentle care we provide leaves the deepest, most enduring mark, the drifting mind. When clarity softens as we draw closer to life's gentle evening, the mind, that intricate tapestry of memory and thought, often undergoes truly heartbreaking transformations. It's as if the person you have known for so long, whose mind once shone with engaging sharpness, begins to slowly, subtly slip away. This isn't merely the fleeting forgetfulness of an aging mind. It's a gradual unraveling, a quiet letting go that is profoundly difficult to witness and even harder to comprehend. The person who once remembered every detail, from the smallest household task to the most cherished memories, may now struggle to recall names, faces, or even the events of yesterday. Their once clear thoughts might now feel like an endless maze of confusion, a soft fog settling over the familiar landscape of their mind. For those witnessing this gentle transformation in a loved one, it can feel like a quiet, anticipatory grief. Imagine watching someone so full of life, so rich in knowledge, slowly losing their ability to connect with the very threads that once defined them. Conversations become harder to follow, like listening to a distant echo, and their presence in familiar places seems subtly overshadowed by an increasing sense of disorientation. They may seem unaware of their surroundings or find themselves lost in places they once knew intimately, like the back of their own hand. Where once they were lively and engaged, they may now withdraw, becoming quieter, more detached, like a sailboat drifting gently from shore. This quietness isn't born of indifference. It's a profound sign that the mind is no longer able to process the complex emotions and connections it once did with such effortless grace. This subtle cognitive decline is an emotional journey for both the person experiencing it and their loved ones. It's not simply a phase of forgetfulness. It's a profound signal that the mind is slowly, gently. You may witness moments of stunning lucidity, flashes of the person you knew so well, only to see them fade back into confusion just as quickly. It's as though their mind is slipping in and out of time, leaving both them and us in a state of quiet helplessness. But perhaps the most devastating part of this process is the emotional withdrawal. It's like the person who once had the energy to light up a room is now retreating into themselves, gently pulling away from social interactions that once brought them such profound joy. They may sit in silence, perhaps gazing out a window, lost in their own thoughts. This isn't a conscious choice. Their brain simply no longer processes engagement in the same way. The quiet is a profound result of their mind struggling to keep pace, not a reflection of a lack of love or care for their family. Conversations become tiring, overwhelming, often leaving them exhausted and agitated. Familiar places may no longer feel safe, and the social interactions they once thrived on may now feel like a burdensome weight. This is no longer the person you once knew in their full, vibrant clarity. And yet beneath the surface of confusion and withdrawal, they still are. They are still the same beautiful soul, just one whose mind and emotions are no longer able to keep pace with their body. Watching someone you love drift away mentally can feel like the slowest, most painful kind of loss. It's as if you're losing them bit by bit, yet they are still physically present, and that makes it all the harder to bear. The emotional toll on family members and loved ones who witness this transformation is immense. They may feel helpless, frustrated, and grief-stricken, watching someone they love lose touch with reality in ways they cannot control. The profound truth is, it's not that your loved one doesn't want to engage, it's that their mind and body are no longer cooperating. They are fighting a gentle battle, one that's difficult to truly understand from our perspective. In these moments, the most loving thing you can do is to meet them where they are. Approach them with profound kindness and unending patience. Do not try to force them back into a conversation they cannot follow, or expect them to respond as they once did. Instead, offer comfort with your gentle presence. Speak softly, provide reassurance, and know that even in their silence, they can still feel the tender embrace of your love. It is crucial to recognize these changes early, and to understand that this is the body and mind's natural, gentle process of preparing for the final transition. Cherish the quiet moments, the shared glances, and create an environment that is deeply peaceful and profoundly safe. And though their words may fade, your loving presence will still speak volumes. The love you offer in these final stages, even without words, will be felt deep in their soul. Because in the end, love transcends memory. Even when cognitive clarity gently fades, your love will be the one thing that endures, a quiet, unwavering flame. The fading shield. When the body's defenses soften as the body gently approaches its final stage, it becomes subtly more susceptible to the most basic physical challenges, ones that in younger years would have been easily brushed aside. It's as though the body's innate defenses, once a strong and resilient shield, begin to gently thin and wane. You might notice that someone who rarely caught colds or dealt with minor infections is now constantly battling something, be it a persistent cough, a low-grade fever, or even a simple skin wound that stubbornly refuses to heal. And these aren't just minor inconveniences, they're quiet, yet profound, signs that the body is no longer capable of mounting the robust fight it once did. For family members witnessing this, it can be a deeply frustrating experience. You may find yourself quietly asking, why won't they heal like they used to? The tender answer lies in the body's slowing systems. The immune system, which once responded quickly and effectively to threats, is no longer able to marshal the same powerful defense. Repeated infections, like a persistent whisper of illness, become more common. Pneumonia, urinary tract infections, and wounds that would have healed in days now take weeks, or even longer. It's heartbreaking to see someone you love struggle with something as simple as a sore or bruise that refuses to mend. A clear, gentle reminder of the fragility of life as it prepares for its transition. As the body's circulation gently slows and organ function quietly declines, even the simplest treatments become less effective. Antibiotics, which once worked wonders, may seem almost powerless, leaving your loved one in a quiet cycle of treatment that never seems to bring lasting relief. It's as if the body, once so full of vitality, has become a gentle battleground where even the smallest injury can become a much larger, more persistent issue. It's a tender, almost cruel reminder that the body is slowly, gracefully giving in, no longer able to fight back with the same strength it once could. But what truly touches the heart is that infections in the elderly often don't present themselves with the dramatic symptoms we expect. They don't always come with the obvious fever or chills. Instead, the signs are far subtler: an increase in cognitive confusion, a gentle loss of appetite, or a quiet weariness that lingers long after the infection should have cleared. This can make it profoundly difficult for families to recognize that something is deeply amiss. until it's too late to intervene in the way they might wish. It's easy to become fixated on curing these infections, to push for more rounds of medication, quietly hoping for a miracle. But sometimes, my friends, the true miracle lies not in the cure, but in the profound comfort. The focus gently shifts from trying to reverse the inevitable to creating a space of solace, of ensuring that your loved one feels profoundly loved and deeply cared for in their final days. Hydration, gentle rest, and compassionate, tender care become more important than fiercely fighting an infection that may never fully disappear. This process is not easy to accept. Watching someone you love battle illness after illness can feel like an endless cycle of subtle loss. But it's also a sacred time to show them grace, profound compassion, and unwavering patience. In their final stages, what they need most is your love, your gentle comfort, and your unwavering presence, far more than endless medical interventions. It's the quiet moments of tenderness, the soft touch on their hand, the gentle reassurance that they are not alone. These are the things that will truly make a profound difference in their well-being. Because in the end, it's not the wounds or the infections that define their journey. It's the boundless love and tender care they receive along the way that illuminates their path. The breath-softening song. When life's rhythm changes as the body gently edges closer to its final moments, one of the most poignant and unmistakable signs is the change in breathing patterns and circulation. These changes often arrive slowly and quietly at first, like an unspoken whisper before growing a little louder, a little more frequent. For a loved one, it's heart-wrenching to witness these shifts, knowing that they mark the inevitable, graceful slowing down of life. You may begin to notice their breath becoming more shallow, slower, or even interrupted with gentle pauses between each inhale. At times, it may feel as though their breathing is labored or irregular, sometimes quick and shallow, then at other times slow and deep, leaving you with an unsettling yet profound sense of helplessness. One of the most significant changes can be the onset of a gentle, almost rhythmic breathing pattern known as Cheyne-Stokes respiration, which alternates between deep, rapid breaths, followed by long, silent pauses. While this may seem alarming at first, it's simply a natural, profound response from the body as it shifts into a different phase of life. And while this may begin subtly, over time it becomes more pronounced. You may find yourself watching helplessly as these cycles become longer and more frequent. It's hard to ignore the emotional weight of each pause, each shallow breath, as if the body is gently preparing for a deeper rest. Alongside these profound changes in breathing, circulation also gently weakens, leaving the extremities feeling cold and distant. Hands, feet, and even the nose or ears may feel icy to the touch, as if the warmth of life is softly receding. The skin can turn pale, almost ghostly, or take on a bluish tint, particularly around the fingers and toes. This is the body's profound way of prioritizing the flow of blood to the vital organs, a clear, gentle signal that the heart is no longer pumping with the robust energy it once did. For family members, it's hard to watch someone you love become distant in such a physical way, but it is important to remember that these signs are a natural, sacred part of the process, not something that can be reversed, but something to accept with grace and tender understanding. Even the simplest of movements can leave them winded. A small shift in position, sitting up, or even the gentle act of speaking might cause them to struggle for breath. It's heartbreaking when someone who once moved with ease and grace now finds themselves gasping for air or stopping mid-sentence to catch their breath. Once ordinary tasks like walking across the room can feel like insurmountable mountains, and the quiet frustration mixed with profound resignation is almost unbearable. It's as though they are being gently held back by a force they cannot control, and you, the caregiver, feel a deep powerlessness to ease the weight. In some cases, fluid may gently build up in the lungs, making every breath more difficult to take. The sound of a persistent cough or the soft gurgling noise that accompanies each breath is a tender yet terrifying reminder of the fragility of life. What might be dismissed as a common cold in a younger person is often a profound sign of the quiet weakening of the lungs in the elderly. As the body struggles to breathe, lying flat may become intolerable, and they may seek comfort by sitting up, gently propped on pillows or resting in a recliner. The simple act of breathing, so often taken for granted, becomes an exhausting, profound challenge. For family members witnessing these changes, it is heart-wrenching. There is a deep sense of helplessness, of wanting to offer more than what you are able to provide. You may feel the gentle urge to encourage them to breathe more deeply, to check on them every few minutes to make sure they are comfortable. But there is a profound truth to accept here. Sometimes there is no quick fix for what's happening. Instead of focusing on reversing the inevitable, the priority must gently shift to making their remaining time as peaceful and comfortable as possible. Simple comforts like keeping the room cool, using a humidifier, or offering small sips of water can make a world of difference. But ultimately what they need most is your unwavering presence, your boundless love, and your gentle acceptance. Medications or oxygen therapy may provide some relief, but the focus will increasingly shift toward comfort rather than correction. If you notice these signs, changes in breathing, cold hands and feet, or a bluish tint to the skin, pay attention. They are not to be feared but understood as profound signals that the body is conserving energy, slowing down in a quiet, dignified manner. It is a sacred time to be there for them, to offer gentle reassurance, and to create an environment where they feel safe and profoundly loved, where they know deep in their soul that they are not alone. A gentle farewell, embracing the unfolding path. My dear friends, as we gently bring this conversation to a close, I encourage you to reflect on the quiet truths we've shared, the soft whispers of drastic weight loss, the profound cloak of overwhelming fatigue, the gentle drifting of cognitive clarity, the body's softening shield against frequent infections, and the tender shifts in breathing and circulation. These are the 5 key signs that may quietly appear in the year leading up to an elderly person's peaceful passing. These changes may arrive gradually, like the slow turning of seasons, and may not be immediately noticeable, but when they do, they are unmistakable, a profound acknowledgement from life itself. It is easy in our deep love and longing to ignore these subtle signs at first, to quietly hope they will pass, like a fleeting cloud. But eventually, the gentle truth becomes undeniable. For many families, these changes are deeply difficult to accept. It is only natural to want to fight against them, to lovingly encourage a loved one to eat more, to gently push them to move more, to hold on to life with all your might. But the profound reality is, sometimes the most loving thing we can do is to honor what their body is so gently telling us. We cannot reverse the inevitable, but we can, with our hearts wide open, make their remaining time as peaceful, comfortable, and meaningful as humanly possible. Understanding these signs isn't about fearing the end of life, it's about preparing for it, like preparing a soft, warm blanket for a cherished friend. Recognizing these changes early gives you the profound chance to make informed decisions, to offer the most compassionate care, and to ensure that your loved one's final months are filled not with anxiety, but with boundless love, quiet dignity, and a profound sense of peace. This is a sacred time to cherish every single moment, to share stories that bind hearts, and to let them know in every gesture and quiet presence that they are deeply valued and profoundly loved, that they have not lived in vain, and that they are absolutely, unequivocally, not alone. As we reflect on the signs and changes that come in the final stages of life, it is my deepest hope that our quiet conversation today has offered you not only understanding, but also a gentle peace and a profound clarity. The journey of life in all its exquisite beauty is filled with moments of vibrant love, gentle hardship, and ultimately, the deep abiding acceptance of life's natural flowing rhythms. It's important to remember that recognizing these profound changes in our loved ones allows us to offer them the greatest gifts of all, comfort, dignity, and an endless wellspring of love during their final, most tender moments. May you find strength in this understanding, and may your heart be filled with a quiet courage as you walk this path with those you hold so dear. Remember, the love we give is the echo that truly lasts.